Why do horned lizards cry blood? Spikes. Scales. A wide body.
A butt, 2 kneecaps, a penis.
Okay, scratch those last few words. But from that initial description, your mind may have imagined something specific. It may have started thinking of dinosaurs, like the Triceratops with its immense spiky horns, or the Ankylosaurus with its scaly armored body. Or, alternatively, your mind may have gone the fictional character route, conjuring up images of the powerful and ever-growing Godzilla, or even Donkey's companion, Dragon, from Shrek. But reality is that you needn't go back tens of millions of years, or look into works of fiction to encounter such a creature. There is indeed a beast, as haunting in description, that presently roams our planet. A creature so spiky, so scaly, and so wide-bodied that you won't believe your eyes. I am, of course, talking about the mighty, the magnificent, and the fierce, horned... Wait 1 second. Yeah, that's better, yeah. The mighty, the magnificent, the horned lizard. Horned lizards, of which there are 21 species, are highly ornamented and distinctive in their appearance, exhibiting short snouts, horns and spikes, and wide flat bodies. Most of these species are largely myrmecophagous, meaning they eat ants, which they catch using a technique known as tongue protrusion. To illustrate more specifically how much they feast on ants, a study on Texas horned lizards revealed that up to 99% of their diet was ant-based, 95% of which being a single species, the harvester ant. The harvester ant portion is particularly noteworthy because these ants contain the strongest insect venom in the world, with 3 stings being allegedly enough to kill your average rat. Which means, to avoid these nasty stings, horned lizards are extremely precise with the aim of their tongues, even being able to make vital modifications to trajectory within milliseconds. More vital still, however, is that an element found in the blood of horned lizards detoxifies the harvester ant venom, making it safe to consume and preventing damage to their organs. Beyond their ant-related abilities, horned lizards have other physiological tricks related to survival. Being ectotherms, meaning that external temperatures dictate their body temperature, they rely on an ability to darken or lighten their skin to control how much external heat they receive. Specifically, when temperatures are around 22 degrees, the skin begins to darken, attracting more heat from the sun. When temperatures get high, approximately 41 degrees or greater, the darkening ceases and degrades towards a lighter skin tone again, preventing overheating. Bizarrely, however, it was shown that at low temperatures, as low as 6 degrees, that lizard skins wouldn't darken, which seems on the surface contradictory. However, when considering that such temperatures largely occur at night, or in underground burrows, where skin darkening would be ineffective, it makes sense that energy would not be wasted on changing their skin tone. Using a different mechanism, some horned lizards can also adapt their colour to match their environments more closely. As opposed to the temperature-dependent colour changes, which occur fairly rapidly and which require no visual cues, background matching is a process that can take multiple days, and which does appear to require the lizards to visually assess their surroundings. And, contrary to changing for needs related to body temperature, this ability is solely used for reasons of camouflage, helping them to remain hidden from predators. Talking of predators, horned lizards are experts at using predator-specific defense mechanisms, even being able to distinguish between venomous and non-venomous snakes, and adjusting to an appropriate strategy. Depending on the predator, responses could be running away, burying themselves, playing dead, displaying their horns, or puffing themselves up on one side to appear larger and spinier. Yet the most unusual defense by far, shared by at least 6 horned lizard species, is squirting blood from their eyes. Amazingly, the use of this blood squirting is almost exclusively triggered by the looming presence of canids, so dogs, wolves, coyotes, and foxes, and hasn't really been observed being used on birds or reptilian predators. The spray, aimed toward the mouth of the canid in question, is supposed to intimidate, whilst also provoking feelings of distinct revulsion. Put simply, this spraying occurs by contracting muscles which maintain blood flow to the head, but that restrict it from flowing out. This causes blood pressure to escalate, making the ocular sinuses swell with blood, which, inevitably, leads to the rupturing of capillaries, which spews blood to an alleged distance of up to 2 meters. And despite a physiological block to blood loss, the levels of blood that can be used still seem staggeringly high. In fact, results from one study demonstrated that individuals could eject up to 53% of their total blood across a single trial session. And crazier still, the total percentage of blood loss during the total 7 days of trials was shown to reach up to 113%, which means that some individuals use the equivalent of all the available blood in their bodies, and then over a tenth more, all in the name of defense and survival. To achieve such a feat, scientists proposed that water was being extracted from other areas in the body, likely from its muscle or fat stores, enabling it to restore the necessary levels of blood needed to live. But I suppose the real question is, why is blood, squirted or otherwise, a deterrent at all? For most predators, blood is considered a positive smell, or one that triggers hunting behavior. Plus, the targets of such blood squirts, wild canids, have been specifically shown to like the smell of blood. And, to top it all off, the blood is aimed toward the mouth of their targets, seeming to almost be egging them on. So, what gives? Well, the answer to this is still being worked on, but scientists are fairly confident they're close to solving it. Initially, the belief was that the blood, prior to exiting the exploded sinus, became mixed with a substance from the eye membranes, or Harderian gland, which causes irritation to predators. In 2001, a study tested this hypothesis, examining horned lizard blood pre- and post-ejection, the pre-blood simply being blood circulating through their body, noting, to their surprise, that there was no difference between the blood samples. So, the adding an irritant to blood at the last second argument seemed to be out. In 2004, a study confirmed this assessment, having tested the responses of kit foxes to pre-ejected and ejected blood from horned lizards, which they smeared onto mice. What they observed was that both forms of blood elicited the same aversive and disgusted behaviours from the foxes. From this, they extrapolated that the irritating compound must be present throughout the horned lizard's circulatory system, further postulating that it could be linked to their diets of venomous harvester ants. Flash forward 2 decades, to April of 2024, and a publication supporting the harvester ant hypothesis has since been published. In the paper, they explain that they exposed coyotes and mice, the latter being considered a reliable proxy for canids, to horned lizard blood. But this time, they used blood from individuals fed a diet of harvester ants versus individuals fed a diet of crickets. The results? The blood of horned lizards that ate harvester ants was significantly more repulsive.
I'm throwing up, you're making me throw up.
But the cricket diet's blood did still provoke some mild negative responses.
I don't like it.
Which suggested that the substance extracted from harvester ants remained in the blood for an extended period of time after consumption. Following further chemical assessments, the consensus was, likely as a byproduct of detoxifying the harvester ant venom, that horned lizards incorporated elements of the venom into their blood. A view furthered by the discovery that components of harvester ant venom elicit pain specifically in vertebrates. So horned lizards could be using this particular component in their blood. And, due to the fact that harvester ant venom elicited less of a negative response than the horned lizard blood when presented to coyotes and mice,
This isn't bad. It's not that good, but it's not that bad.
it seems possible that the substance is enhanced or concentrated somehow, making it more impactful. So there you have it. Horned lizards evolved to use compounds from the strongest insect venom in the world, obtained from harvester ants and infused with their blood, which is then squirted via their eyes into the mouths of canids to elicit possible pain and definite feelings of revulsion. Perfectly sound and absolutely normal. Which puts to rest, for now, this horn dog of a question.